Hey, and we are live. Today's an interesting one. I'm only going to cover the NFL today, last week, week 9, and this week, week 10. Last week, week 10, this week, week 11. Not going to cover the UFC. We're doing this Sunday morning, actually. We had Wednesday's podcast about the NBA draft. Then stuff came up Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so I guess I'm doing this one after my Sunday morning workout. Let's just jump into it. So this season, I'm doing midseason awards. An MVP is an interesting one. So, as we know, I've been on the Russell Wilson hype train all year. I've been begging and pleading for this guy to get MVP because I do think he's the best football player in the world. But over the past 3 games, I think he has something like 8 turnovers. He has not been helping himself lately. Apologies. Has not been helping himself lately. Before the Arizona game, if I were to have filmed this during that game, which I should have, I would have put that Patrick Mahomes is my MVP. But now that Russell Wilson has a complete team, doesn't have to put the entire team on his back, which he was doing a great job of, I do think that his turnovers will start to go down. Everything else will go up. He'll prove to everybody, once again, he's the best football player in the world. And for this year's MVP, I definitely am still keeping Russell Wilson. Coach of the Year. This is an interesting one. There's a lot of people who I would have given Coach of the Year this year. People like Andy Reid, of course. John Gruden's done a great job with the Raiders. Pete Carroll for the Seahawks has done an amazing job because that team is injured all the time. They're playing with more practice squad players than anybody else in the league. And Mike Tomlin, let's get that straight. Mike Tomlin for the Pittsburgh Steelers has done a fantastic job this year with all of that young talent on the front seven. They're still the best front seven in football. They still have one of the best defenses in football. Even Big Ben being old doesn't matter because they're still one of the most explosive offenses in football. Although all of those guys have done great, I don't think, and this, I could be biased. You know what? I could be biased. I could be biased. But Brian Flores has just done absolutely amazing work with the Miami Dolphins. He's won 5 straight games. Today versus Denver is about to make it 6, hopefully. And I just don't think that anybody's players play harder for them. And in order for you to be the Coach of the Year, I feel like your players have to play hard for you because they respect you. You have to win games, and you have to beat expectations. And he's doing that tenfold better than anybody else in the league. So this year's Coach of the Year, I give it to Brian Flores. So I'm a little upset with the way that the NFL actually does. Okay, let me take this off. With the way that the NFL actually does. I'll keep it like that. With the way the NFL actually does Player of the Year awards. So I split it between AFC and NFC. They do an entire league, and then they give an AP Offensive and AP Defensive Player of the Year and Rookie of the Year and so forth. But I split it into AFC and NFC. So for the AFC, my Offensive Player of the Year this year is going to be Derrick Henry because he's running all over people. Nobody can stop him. I think he had 1 game under 100 yards. But he's clearly doing everything in his power to make sure that the Tennessee Titans are at least somewhat of contenders. Ooh, I got a notification. Ooh. So apparently some players are frustrated with the Saints starting Taysom Hill instead of Jameis Winston. That's interesting. Real interesting. About one of my least favorite teams in the league. Anyway, let's get to AFC Defensive Player of the Year. I'm giving this to young gun TJ Watt. TJ Watt. I was going to give it to Myles Garrett. But I think TJ Watt is more of a disruptor than Myles Garrett. I think that the entire front seven is better than Cleveland's front seven, so it's easier for other guys to get sacks. But what people don't know is that the people on the front seven for Pittsburgh, although they're great, they're only getting sacks because TJ Watt's getting double teamed every single play coming off the edge. He's without a doubt one of my favorite defensive players, but in this year's league where you need a pass rush, or in today's league where you need a pass rush, you cannot win any games without having a pass rush. TJ Watt has proven to me that I guess he's the best, but he's one of the best at getting to the quarterback every single play, whether the numbers show it or not. He's consistently making sure quarterbacks can feel his presence, and I think that's a good thing. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Okay, this is clearly Justin Herbert's award to lose. But the problem is that Justin Herbert has a way better team than Joe Burrow. The Chargers are significantly better at everything than the Cincinnati Bengals. And Joe Burrow is putting up similar numbers to Justin Herbert, but he has more wins than Justin Herbert. Better record than Justin Herbert. Since Justin Herbert's been a starter, they've only won one game. Putting up great numbers, can't win games. Putting up great numbers, can kind of win games. I'm going to go Joe Burrow in the slightest of edges, but shout out to Justin Herbert for being great. Defensive Rookie of the Year. I think this one's easy peasy for the AFC. Patrick Queen, linebacker for the Baltimore Ravens, has been absolutely outstanding this year as a rookie. Stepped in day one, got to start immediately, and he has been all over the field, every single play for that, honestly, that underperforming defense. But he is one of those young players that they're going to look to build that defense up again. And he's going to be another Ray Lewis type guy for them. They're another Terrell Suggs type guy for them. He's going to stick around for a long time and be a great Baltimore Raven. Be a great on the defensive side of the ball, which is what the Baltimore Ravens have always been. It's great on the defensive side of the ball. Let's move over to the NFC. NFC Offensive Player of the Year. I got clear as day, Dalvin Cook. He has put the Minnesota Vikings on his back and has been carrying them all year. Literally carrying them all year. He's the only reason they won games. I think he had 4 first-half touchdowns versus Green Bay. Dalvin Cook has been absolutely amazing. I was really rooting for him after that gruesome leg injury 2 years ago for him to come back. He came back stronger than ever. Dalvin Cook, I'm proud of what you're doing, boy. And, Offensive Player of the Year, NFC, Dalvin Cook. Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. I have never seen a man get triple-teamed more times than not. And when I watch Rams games, this man's getting triple-teamed every single play. And I think he still leads the NFC in sacks. Bro, best defensive player in the league. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Justin Jefferson, Minnesota Vikings. So the Minnesota Vikings take away Offensive Player of the Year and Offensive Rookie of the Year. If only they had a quarterback. So Justin Jefferson has been absolutely amazing. He's been on fire since he entered the league. His route running is absolutely beautiful. He's burning corners that have been in this league for years, guarding the best receivers. He's killing them off the line of scrimmage. Justin Jefferson is a deep threat, and nobody really expected it. And that's awesome. I think he's going to have a great career, and he's going to start off with an Offensive Rookie of the Year for me. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Chase Young is 20. I think he's 22. Could be 23. Could be 22, though. I think he's 22. Chase Young's already getting triple teamed just like Aaron Donald. He just started playing football in the NFL. Already getting triple teamed. Not on a consistent basis, but teams know they got to watch out for him. And he's only a rookie. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Chase Young. No questions about it. Nobody even arguing with me. Now we got some superlative awards. Now let me break it down for you. I got biggest boom and biggest bust. So whose stock at the beginning of the season went up the most, I think, in my opinion. Not who is improved the most, whose stock. So who at the beginning of the season had a low stock, then now has a high stock, and who had a high stock, then now has a low stock. So biggest boom, I'm going to go Devontae Parker for the Miami Dolphins. Could be biased, but Devontae Parker at the end of last season had a really good run. Got it to Twitter beef with Michael Thomas, and then at the beginning of this season, he just turned it on. He is used to be injury prone, hasn't been injured this year. He's been playing great with Fitzpatrick, with Tua. Doesn't matter. He's catching every pass. He doesn't drop many passes. His route running is better. His deep ball handling is great. I am loving me some Devontae Parker, and I think his stock has risen the most out of anybody in the league. Biggest boom, Devontae Parker. Biggest bust. This one's easy. Cam Newton had so many expectations this year, how he was going to prove everyone wrong, and he's still throwing inaccurate passes. Oh, sorry, if you guys can hear that, that's my fan. I'm hot. Like I said, just finished my morning workout. But Cam Newton is the biggest bust this year for sure. Had all these expectations. He was going to prove everybody wrong. All of the hype workout videos, everything Under Armour had set out for advertising. And he is just not good at football this year. He has more rushing touchdowns than he does throwing touchdowns. His completion percentage is in the low 60s, high 50s. Doesn't have very many passing yards. Is in the lower half of the league. Cam Newton is not a quarterback. He's an athlete at this point in his career. And the Patriots are going to move on from him after this year. He doesn't have a job next year. And I think for you to be hyped up all offseason and then for halfway through the season for everybody to know you're not going to have a job next year, you are the biggest bust. I love Cam Newton, but in my opinion, he just hasn't gotten it done this year. Biggest bust, Cam Newton. Biggest surprise. Lamar Jackson not having a great year. He's having a good year. Nothing terrible. Has a lot of turnovers, but he's young, so who cares? Doesn't have a lot of touchdowns. He's in the middle of the pack. Put it that way. Lamar Jackson won MVP last year on one of the best quarterback seasons of all time. And yeah, now he's just middle of the pack. He hasn't been doing anything spectacular. I get it. His offense is injured. Doesn't have all the weapons that he could have. The offense is also predictable. John Harbaugh needs to step it up. But you're supposed to be a playmaker, man. You're supposed to be a playmaker. And after that game versus New England, I just couldn't give him anything else. Biggest surprise is Lamar Jackson not playing up to his standards. Most predictable. In case you weren't paying attention in the offseason, DK Metcalf became a monster route runner, kind of. DK Metcalf's success is not a surprise to me at all. This is the most predictable thing that could have happened, except for the Chiefs just steamrolling everybody. But most predictable, DK Metcalf's shining. I don't know anybody who would have predicted that he would have had a terrible season. DK Metcalf's a monster, and he's going to continue to be a monster. So I'm not going to give a breakdown of every game last week because we are short on time this week. Let me just head over here. So I will talk about some notable games. The Dolphins and Chargers had a good one. Dolphins 5-game win streak. The Colts killed the Titans, kept the Titans scoreless in the second half. The Giants absolutely, and they didn't kill the Eagles, but like they're the Giants, so a 10-point victory is killing the Eagles, especially when they're the Eagles. So the Giants at 3-7 have a chance to win that division, and I think they're going to. The Jaguars almost upped at the Packers. Packers still won. The Lions and the football team game was not good. The Browns and Texans was the most boring game in the history of football. The Buccaneers stomped the Panthers. I guess I am going to go over every game. Just a quick recap. Raiders killed the Broncos. The Cardinals, Hail Mary versus the Jordan's going to have a field. The Jordan brand is going to have a field day of marketing because DeAndre Hopkins soars over 3 people with double zeros left on the clock to get the Hail Mary for the dub. That was one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life. He's the best receiver in the football league. He's best receiver in the National Football League. Don't ask me no more questions. Anybody who says it's Julio is dumb. Anybody who says it's Devontae Adams is dumb. Anybody who says it's Antonio Brown is dumb. It's DeAndre Hopkins. It always has been DeAndre Hopkins. Nobody's better than DeAndre Hopkins. Get it right. Get it right. Moving on. The Saints did not kill the 49ers like they should have, and that's disappointing. The Rams beat the Seahawks. Russell Wilson had a terrible game. Again, that was 2 weeks ago, not the Thursday night game versus Arizona that just happened. A couple weeks ago versus the Rams. Did not have a good game. It was actually a week ago versus the Rams. They only have 4 games to prepare for Arizona. That sucks. Steelers routed the Bengals. I thought the Bengals were going to lose. Or I thought the Bengals were going to win. I thought it was going to be an upset. They just absolutely could not keep up with the Steelers, and that's what happens. I thought the Steelers were going to play down to the competition. They did not. They played up to their level, and that's good to see from a great team. The Patriots beat the Ravens on Sunday Night Football, which is crazy because the Patriots suck. The Vikings and Bears, that was a snooze fest, but the Vikings won, I guess. I thought they were going to rout them. They didn't rout them. They barely beat them by 6. That was all of last week. Woohoo! Let's get into this week, this afternoon's games. So I got the Dolphins and Broncos, I got the Dolphins winning handily. I think the Broncos are just too young and too injured to actually put up a fight versus anybody this year. They are a good team when they're healthy, but as far as right now, they're not going to win very many games this year. But I think the Dolphins, pretty much handle them. Eagles and Browns. Browns. That's all I got to say about that. Bengals versus the football team. I'm going to go Bengals. Joe Burrow's going to prove to everybody why he was the number 1 pick and why Chase Young was the number 2 pick. You know? Falcons and Saints. I think the Saints pull this off. Saints have gotten healthier every week, have gotten better every week. They're starting to shut me up. Although I do not like them, they're starting to shut me up. They're starting to play great, making for that playoff run. I got New Orleans handling the Atlanta pretty soundly. Jacksonville versus Pittsburgh. Shout out to Jose, because I know Jose's up on his way to Jackson. I think he's in Jacksonville right now. He's going to go to the Steelers game, wear your mask, be safe, have fun. The Steelers do win this. Shout out to Jose. But shout out to Jacksonville, hometown. Patriots versus Texans. I got... Who cares who wins this game? They're fighting. I mean, the loser won this game. Whoever loses this game won because they're going to get a higher draft pick. And Patriots are 4-5. Texans are 2-7. Both of these teams are not contending this year. They're not going to make the playoffs this year. So, if I had to choose them, I'm taking the Texans. Texans. Lions and Panthers. I'm going to go... Carolina's lost 5 straight, but they've also played really good football for 5 straight weeks, except for last week versus Tampa. But I think they're going to lose. I don't know why. Detroit's giving me a bad feeling today. I'm taking Detroit. I think my gut's telling me Detroit. I'm going to go with Detroit. And then Titans and Ravens. This is a rematch from last year's AFC divisional round game where the Titans upset Baltimore. Lamar had a terrible game, had a bunch of turnovers. And, yeah. I'm going to go Titans. I think Derrick Henry does it again, runs all over him. I'm going to go Titans. The Ravens are going to drop to 6-4. The loser of this game drops to 6-4. That's crazy. Because both of these teams, like I said, were fighting for an AFC championship bid last year. And that's crazy that they're going to be 6-4. The AFC is wild this year. The NFL is wild this year. But 7 teams make the playoffs, so at 6-4, they're still good. The Jets and the Chargers. I'm going to go the Chargers. Justin Herbert is going to get a W. Like, he's been playing so good, but his team cannot win games. I feel so bad for that kid, but Justin Herbert's going to get his W because the Jets are trash. Packers versus Colts. Do I have a coin? All right. Packers and Colts. Heads Packers, tails Colts. Heads Packers. All right. Packers are going to win that game. Cowboys and Vikings. The Vikings behind Dalvin Cook. Ooh, what happened to the lighting? I got natural lighting today. Come on, you guys. Sorry about my lamp in the back, by the way. I know that's bright. My turtle needs some heat. Cowboys and Vikings. I got the Vikings handedly, soundedly. Mike McCarthy's getting fired after this year. Chiefs and Raiders. I'm going Chiefs. The Raiders beat them earlier in the season. The Chiefs are the most explosive offense in football. They're going to score 40. Easy. Rams, Buccaneers. I'm going to go the Rams. Been shitting on the Rams. I've been shitting on the Rams. I'm just looking at my top 10 teams for later, and the Rams are not in it, and I think that's a disgrace. Mikey's going to get mad if I don't put them in it, because they do deserve to be in it. All right, we're switching some things up. Give me a second. So, yeah, I do think the Rams' defense is one of the best in the league. I think their secondary is the best in the league. Jalen Ramsey absolutely shut down DK Metcalf. I think he's going to do the same thing to Mike Evans because Jalen Ramsey is a shut down corner. I think Aaron Donald's going to have a field day with Tom Brady's young offensive line, and he's going to get a lot of sacks. So let me just pencil in. We're going to take out this one. move these around. So I'll go this, this, and this. I guess the NFL is weird this year, man. And then, yeah, that was it. And then we got the Bears, Niners, Giants, and Bills. Oh, the Niners don't get to lose a game this week because they have a bye week. That's awesome. Good for them. I'm really happy for them. Sorry, Mark. Mark's in the back. Let me go get them. Mark, did you know that San Francisco has a bye this week? So they won't lose. You laugh. Bubba. You guys want to meet my dog? Hey, my love. Hey, baby. Come here. Come here. Come here, Bubba. Come here. Oh, come here. Come here. What the freak, man? Trying to show the people. Come here. The people want to see you. Come here, Bubba. Hey. The people want to see. The people want to see. Good boy. Good boy. You want a meatball? 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 Awesome. Let's go get him a meatball. Sorry, guys. I know we're in the middle of a podcast, but my dog wants a meatball. Kill me. Sue me. Here you go, Bubba. Pick one. Good boy. This is the best dog in the whole world. He deserves a treat. Awesome. Let's get back to this. So now what we're done for today's games. Wow, it's today. Today's Sunday. That's awesome, man. Let's get to the top 10 NFL teams. I do not have a flavorful 5 this week. I'm not going to talk about the UFC this week. Congratulations to Valentina Shevchenko and to Davison Figueiredo on defending their titles. Congratulations to Tim Means on beating Mike Perry. Mike Perry missed weight. That's disgusting. I hate it when guys miss weight. So congratulations to Tim Means, man. Beat Mike Perry easily. Who else had a good performance last night? Joaquin Buckley. Not whoever he fought. He's the guy that did the spin. It was super viral. Back spinning, heel, knockout, crazy. Gonna be knockout of the year for sure. But he fought again, and he absolutely put the power on this guy. Put him to sleep. Like, he hit him with a deadly combination. Look him up, bro. Joaquin Buckley. He's gonna be a sensation at 185. He had a great performance this week. Congratulations to Joaquin. I don't think there's anything else I need to report. No, I don't think I need to report. Anyway, let's get to these top 10 NFL teams, guys. At number 10, like I said, I just had to switch them up. I got Baltimore at 10. I do think they're great. They're good, not great. I should put it that way. 9, this is heartbreaking, but I got Seattle. 8, I got the Rams because they just beat Seattle. 7, New Orleans. Finally in the top 10. Liam actually hit me up. Liam, I know you're watching. I finally put them in the top 10. Number 7, there you go. 6, I got my Miami Dolphins. 6, this isn't even me being biased. This isn't even me biased. They have the number 1 scoring defense. They have the number 1 defense in the league. When you have the number 1 defense in the league, you're going to win a lot of games. Because you don't have to score a lot of points because you're going to make sure that other teams don't score a lot of points. 6th best team in the league. Don't question. 5, I got Las Vegas. I think Las Vegas can beat anybody over the top. They've got speedy receivers, a great quarterback, and a great running back. Their offense is explosive. Their defense is getting better every week. And John Gruden's, like I said, coach of the year candidate. Love that guy. At 4, Tampa Bay. I feel like they lose, or they don't play up to their standards, and then they just overperform. They're the most confusing team in the league to watch, but everybody should agree that they are a top 5 team in the NFL. At 3, I got Green Bay. You could have put Green Bay at 4, Tampa Bay at 3. These two can I just don't like Tom Brady, so that's why I'm not. Sorry. My list, not yours. At 2, I got Pittsburgh. Undefeated. Best front 7 in the league, for sure. Second best defense in the league, behind the Dolphins. They're great. They're a great team. They're gonna go to the AFC Championship game and play my number 1 team, which is the Kansas City Royals. No, I'm kidding. The Chiefs. It's the Chiefs. The Royals are the Kansas City Baseballs team. But the Kansas City Chiefs are the best team in the league, man. You can't tell me that they're not. They're the most explosive. They can drop 50 points every single game. They don't because, sometimes shit just doesn't work out. But they can. No other team in the league could do that. So, Kansas City's the best team in the league, in my opinion. And I think that just about wraps it up. Like I said, we're not going to cover the UFC. Yeah. Thanks, guys. And I don't have music to play. I'll just play a song. I can't play a song copyright. I need something to dance out to. Let me just pull up an old episode and get my exit music going. This is super ghetto.